We live?
Mm-hmm.
Pros and cons, pros and cons. The world blames dad when it's really your mom. Pow! Getting a little frame test there to see if the framing is right, so I don't look more nuts than I do naturally. We're here live. This is the 25th episode. That's pretty crazy, man, because time flies. Doesn't seem like it's been 25 episodes of this, and so thank you guys for coming out. Hit that thumbs up, leave a comment, so we can grow a little bit and get, spread the word of the message of, whatever that message is that you receive, and what you get out of coming and talking and calling in and discussing things. Because right now, man, it's pretty nuts out here. Like, people are very angry, they have hatred, and they feel so justified in it, and that's such a deceiving trick that Satan is going to use. Is he's going to make us feel justified in our hatred, our anger, and resentments, because we intellectualize it and think that we have a right to do it, and we don't. I see there's way too many people out here that are justifying their anger, and I used to be that same way, man. I would find myself being blameful, feeling angry about my life, and feeling things were owed to me, and that I was powerless of myself in my own life. So all I could do was blame other people, and I would live in my thoughts and live in my imagination, causing me to create and find any excuse I can to not take accountability for my own life. And so when I talk to people like on Facebook or Instagram or on social media and stuff like that, it takes a lot of patience to really try to help people see, you know, and because a lot of times you can be like, oh, it's just social media, it's just but there's somebody else on the other screen there, and if we can all really like have that aim to get understanding, where you can say the facts, say what's true, without being emotional and having things be about trying to hurt someone else, because racism, right, is a huge thing that's being thrown around for everything. It's called racism. Like, I had a post today. I said something, and I said, you guys talking about people who were complaining about the masks, because we have to wear the COVID masks. There's people that wanted to have the businesses reopen, have the beaches open, and I'd see a lot of people talking about how that was selfish and that they didn't care about the well-being of others and stuff like that. And now that there's riots going on with looting and vandalism and rioting and all kind of crazy stuff in the street with large groups of people, my post was like, well, where are all the people that were outraged at people who wanted to go to the beach and all those kinds of things, right? So that was the you guys I was talking about, and someone says like, oh, a few people said, well, I'm trying to understand what you mean by you guys, insinuating that you guys is like one demographic of people, like the black people, and I'm just getting like super not irritated or frustrated, but just like it blows my mind that how it can be flipped around, and how many people that I've known for years in my life, over 10 years, are willing to question me, question my heart. Like, people you think that really know you, and that, at the end of the day, it's my own assumption and my own fault for believing that I had friends, because sometimes it's like, if I'm an honest person, I assume other people are honest too. And so that could get me burned because I'm going to think everyone's honest. Or if you're a liar, then you think everyone else is lying. So that's one of the things that I had to realize, was that who I am does not mean that other people are the same with me. And it's easy to assume that because, especially in the music business, there's people that are, I resonate with other people's talents and their personalities and stuff like that. And for a long time, I was afraid to be honest, and I didn't even know how to be honest, because I just wanted to have a career. I wanted to make music, and I wanted people to like me, and I wanted to, be in the industry. And now that I'm like, really know myself, I know what I'm not, and I know who I am, and I know that I don't have hatred or anger, and I don't come from a place of anger or hatred at all. So when people try to, pivot the conversation into something where it's questioning you, like, what do you mean by you guys? Like, people that really know me and have real love for me would never ask me that question because they know that I'm coming from a good place at all times. Like, I'm not trying to hurt anybody. And sometimes the truth is hurt. It can hurt when you don't want to face it. And for a lot of my life, I didn't want to face the truth about myself, about my life, and anytime somebody would give me an excuse or reason that validated where I was wrong in my life, I would think they were my friend, and I would hang out with them because they validated how I felt. And until I really got to know myself and realized that I was wrong for that, I couldn't see clearly and have good enough discernment in my life to be able to make decisions that were the right decisions. And so now I'm getting so much backlash from people because I'm able to see now, and I'm not afraid to say what I see is true. And I invite anybody to talk to me about it, but a lot of people are very emotional and they don't want to talk about it. They just want to, do these pivoting straw man arguments where they paint you in a light, and you're wasting time having to defend yourself. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to defend myself, especially for people that I've known for years. But anyways, now that I've started with that, if you want to call in and talk, we got a call coming in right now. It's 833-308-5559.
Chris Hawk says, I was the same way, bro. It's all good. What's up, Lucas, Primal Bear, Gaucho, Danny? All right, let's see who this is before we put it on.
We're going to have to screen these calls because there's some angry trolls out there that want to just...
Oh, it's actually Lucas.
...be immature and say things on the live.
What's up, Lucas? Hold on, let me put you up to the mic. How you doing, bud?
Awesome. I'm doing well. I'm doing great.
Happy Thursday, my friend.
I'm just, a longtime fan with Jesse and everyone that's a part of it, the whole fellowship. But I just wanted to say, I don't know if does Trevor and you, I don't know, I forget your co-host, but
Dude.
do you guys realize what's going on with white people, how much we are being taken down and controlled, and I'm talking about, it has to refer to this riot that's been happening just because of one black guy dead.
Right.
If white people were to do that, and white people have done that and marched, but nothing damaged, they even picked up their own damn trash. What's going on right now? I just want to get your perspective on what you think about how this is affecting white people.
No, I see it, man.
And I'm not white. I'm Spanish. I'm Spanish, Cuban, Mexican, but I'm blonde hair, blue eyed, white skin. So
yeah. Wow.
I still have to go through it.
Yeah, dude. I've been seeing this happen for a couple of years now. Because I found Jesse a few years ago. Can't believe how fast time flies. But I started realizing things, and so that at that moment, I was waking up to really seeing what was going on and how it's built up, led up to this. And so many white people are so afraid that they're going to be called racist, and everyone we're all being controlled, because I don't like to look through the lens of race. I like to look through the lens of good and evil and people and character, because I got friends of all different ethnicities, but I also objectively can see what's happening. And when I speak up about the rioting and the looting and that's wrong, it's like people flip it around and be like, well, you're defending this guy, the cop that killed this black guy. And people don't see both sides. They don't see the coin of the officer was definitely wrong, but at the same time, people, a lot of black people are saying, oh, I'm afraid that I'm going to go out and get murdered and have the same thing happen to me. But the only way that can happen is if you commit crimes. Because that's what's happening.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So people that claim that they're stand up good people and will love what's right. Why would you be afraid of the same thing happening to you, especially on the same day that happened with George Floyd? 10 black people were murdered and killed by other black people, and 40 people were injured, and nobody cares about it. They only care about it. Yeah, no, they only care about it when it's a white person killing a black person. and has everybody brainwashed to believe this, all hyped up, and it happens all the time with election season. But this time, it's like the worst it's ever been, man.
Yeah, and they called. I've been hearing a lot of people everywhere, all over my social media, Facebook, even people that I know at work and stuff. They call the cops animals, right? And so whenever these riots and videos and all these things broke out, I called the black people animals, and then I was berated. I lost so many people. People think I'm in my family. They think I'm racist.
Right.
Everyone's attacking me for saying, and it's like you just called these 4 police officers animals, but I'm calling these hundreds of black people and Mexican animals, and that's bad for me to say.
Yeah,
Look what they're doing. They're destroying. They're burning down buildings. It's horrible.
Exactly, and there's white liberals out there doing the same thing. And that's the thing, is that two rights don't make a wrong. People are feel justified by one thing, and then they're like, well, they're going to list every reason and excuse that they're going to go burn down a building or ruin someone else's business that has nothing to do with it. And it's just it's scary times, bro.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I just want to see where your head's at on it. So I'm glad that you realize what's going on, because it's not a race. I'm not trying to start a race war, but I am realizing that I am in danger. I don't have a car right now, so I have to walk to work every day, Pasadena, Alhambra, back and forth, and so I have to watch out for this kind of crap, and it pisses me off, but I'm not gonna hate it, but I am gonna defend myself. Like, it sucks. It sucks how everything is like this. And if somebody could just finally just listen or open up an ear and just listen to me, but no one can listen to me. No one wants to listen to me, and I'm not going to waste my time trying to convince anyone. But it would be so much easier for me to get through to people, and I don't know. It sucks being blonde hair, blue eyed, and white skin. That's what I say. I don't say I'm white. I say I'm blonde hair, blue eyed, white skin. Like, 'cause I'm not white. I don't identify as white. I know where my heritage is. It goes back to Mexico. It goes back to Cuba. It goes back to Spain. But it's just like I have to go along with it. I have to be like, you know what? I am white. I have to stand with these people because I'm a part of it. And it sucks, though. It really sucks. I wish people can just open up their fucking ears, you know?
Well, watch the language.
I'm sorry I cussed. Oh, shit, I just realized I cussed. It's just cuss again.
No, I understand, bro. No, I understand, and that's why we were on here and talking about this stuff, because, dude, I know the frustration, because people aren't seeking the truth, and the media they know what they're doing. They're dividing people, and they're making people get caught up in racial issues as opposed to right and wrong, good and evil. Because if we just saw things as with the George Floyd and this cop, and that instance is its own instance, and say, yeah, that was wrong, and then also acknowledge that the guy was wrong for committing the crime, and like he put himself in that situation as well. People can't take that kind of talk because they think you're defending it or you're making it right and saying, well, you're justifying saying that he deserves to die. I'm not saying that. And what's happening is everybody's so emotional that they can't objectively just look at it to get a lesson for themselves, because people who really want to seek the truth are going to look at every angle they can so that they can learn and grow for themselves. And people just want to run with the narrative so that, the Democrats this is all a liberal, lefty thing that they are strategically doing to make you hate Donald Trump, think all white people are racist, so that they can get a vote. And it blows my mind that people can't see it. And it's dangerous, bro. I don't have a car either. I walk around. But I'm looking all the time for new ways to defend myself, because I also don't want to be arrested and put in jail for defending myself, because I know that they'll easily flip it around. If a black homeless guy comes and attacks me, or anybody, and I defend myself, then what are they going to say? White guy hunts black guy? So I got to look at non-lethal ways of defending myself too. But it's definitely, like you said, don't hate it. Just be aware of it and speak up, bro. Good for you for speaking up about it and not being afraid to lose family or friends or whatever. I've lost a lot of people, man, and people smearing my name as an artist and framing things in certain ways, and they're looking to hate me. They're looking for me to stumble and say that I'm racist, and it's like the people who really know me know that I'm not. That's not me, but people don't want to know me. They want to sabotage, and that's all Satan.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I understand that. Thank you, man. Like, I really wanted to ask the question because, and not because I judge you at all in one perspective, but I just want to know what's going on through the white man's mind. I know what's going on through the black man's mind, but and I don't know if you're white or not, but you look white, just like what I've been saying. I look white, so I'm part of the white group. But I just want to know because honestly, this is, and I know, like you said, it's been going on years. I know that, but it's becoming to a serious point now to where it's like I have to keep my head on a double swivel. Is what I call it now. I used to keep on my head on a swivel at all times, but now I have to keep it on a double swivel because people are just mad at the white man for some weird reason. I don't get it.
Yeah, and if you are white, they're trying to say, you know, they're courting white people to have to agree and pander and basically feel guilty and say whatever, agree with whatever everyone else says, or else you're racist and you get brownie points and you're like, oh, but it's such a fake love. It's not real. And I was that guy before. You know, I'd be around circles and I'd just be quiet because I didn't want people to think I was racist and I didn't know myself. So I allowed other people's question about me to affect me. Like, oh man, well, maybe maybe, you know, whatever. I would feel guilty about things. But now that I know myself, I'm like, if I lose, I will lose people. But when I do, I gotta be grateful for it because God is opening and revealing who should be in my life and who has real love to give, and they're not just bullshit.
Yeah, Lucas, I'm also. Go ahead.
No, yeah, and if anyone that's listening, you know, probably commenting like, oh, he's scared, he's a scaredy cat. No, all right, I live in Alhambra, that's next to East LA. All right, that's next to LA. So I have to deal with these people, Mexicans and blacks. So if anybody wants to make fun of me like I'm a scaredy cat, I'm not scared. All right, but I just have to say that to anyone that's listening because I know I probably sound like, oh, I'm all scared, but no, I'm not scared. No. I've been walking around. I've been living here for 24 years.
Yeah, you sound concerned. You don't sound scared to me. Like if you were scared, you'd be one of those white people that are like afraid to say anything or all apologizing. Oh, I'm sorry. I swear I'm not racist. It's like that's the scared person, you know, because when the way things are going right now, like we're headed very fast, spiraling into civil war.
Yeah, man. I'm in your position in some sense. My mother is from Central America. She was Spaniard mixed, so she looks white. I look white. I've identified as white, even though you know I know Spanish culture. I can know Spanish food, but I just identified as white.
I know Spanish food.
You know, but you have to be aware that this is it's a spiritual issue, and you should have your head on your shoulders. You should not be deluding yourself that you can just talk this out with people, because if someone's under that spirit, they're under that possession of anger.
Yeah.
They are liable to kill you and hurt you.
And they're committed to misunderstanding.
Right. So you have to be ready to fight for yourself, but you do it the honorable way. I don't go looking for fights, but when someone punches at me, I'll punch back. But with enough force to end the threat, with enough enough energy to get them off of me, you know, because right now there's a target on our backs. People have no idea the history of communism in this country. They don't realize how long this has been going on. That the media has been working against the U.S. population for decades, demoralizing them. Look at all the TV shows. Look at all the music, all the media. It's done nothing but slowly paint white people as dummies, as aggressors, as oppressors, as nothing but evil, that they've contributed nothing good to society, when it's white people who have created civilizations and countries that the rest of the world, the third world, wants to break into. So it's not what they told us. Everything's upside down. And it's not wrong to admit that. It's not wrong to admit that the Spanish are European and they did good things. And, you know, like they want you to feel bad and apologetic and just walk around with your tail between your legs, because that's how you take over a country. If they can get this to happen, we will lose. It's what they did to Russia. They're going to do to us. They turn minorities against the majority. And then once they have power, all those minority leaders study Russia. What did the KGB and the USSR do to them? They shot everybody. Once they're all useful idiots is what they call them. They use these leftists to get into power.
Yeah, useful idiots. Yeah, that's what my dad always says, useful idiots.
Exactly. And we're fighting that, but at the same time, like, you know, I do my best to try and speak up, but then people just want to attack you with that spirit, so I'll push back. I'm not angry when I do it, but I can jab back. I can throw insults back if I want to, because at some point a lot of people are not going to wake up, and I'm not here to wake anybody up. God does that. So the best you can do is just speak out when it's appropriate. You'll know when the right time is to speak up and defend yourself. and just be ready because who knows what's gonna happen.
Awesome, Trevor. Honestly, man, dude, you're a great guy, man. This is my first time calling your show, but you're a cool guy, man. You're a really cool guy. I went to church twice, but I never saw you there. Maybe I did. I don't know, but I didn't. But dude, you're a cool guy, man.
I appreciate
thank
it, man.
you for this talk and
Yeah,
everything.
the one who you were just talking to, that's a Ruxpin over here.
Beard dude.
And I was talking to you a minute
Wait,
ago.
what's his name? What's his name? Russ?
Ruxpin.
Call me Beard Dude.
Beard dude.
Oh, okay.
But no, I appreciate you
All right.
calling in, bro, because like I think because a lot of white people, especially in LA, it's a melting pot and it's very liberal and people don't have the outlet to be able to really talk to people. And I know, especially being in the industry or whatever. For me, I don't know anybody, but I know what's right in my heart. So that's why I started going to Jesse's church and expanding my circles to find people that love what's right and know that it's about character and not about race or ethnicity. And I don't judge all black people or all white people or Asians or Mexicans or whatever. I go by individuals, and if they have the same morals and values and character as me, and that's how I decide now who I hang out with and who I trust.
Yep.
And even then, I still only trust God, bro. That's it.
Yeah.
But thank you for calling.
Like Jesse would say, amazing.
Amazing.
But, hey man, I do have to get on though right now. But hey dude, I thank you for taking my call. Dude, you're amazing. Like I said, you're the best part in the song "Stand Up" remix. It was yours, your verse. But hey man, you're great. Thank you, man.
I appreciate
for
it,
taking my
man. Thanks for calling, bro.
Thank you, Lucas.
call. Yeah, of course. Hey, you guys have a good night.
Be well, brother. That's a great call. Yeah, you can't be. It's not scared and people miss. I'm different. I have my own way of doing things. I'm different than Trevor, and I do go hard in the paint when people try to accuse my friends and myself of being a racist because they're, like he says, they're committed to understanding. Yeah, but it's like they put words in your mouth and they want to twist what you say, and then they act like they're not doing that. And there's this what I call this arrogance and ignorance. They're just so arrogant in their ignorance. They refuse to try and understand. They don't want to have a conversation without always sliding in, racist accusations, and they don't want to deal with what's at hand. It's just
they're trying to court you and train you into walking on eggshells around them, and not all. I got black friends. It's like, oh, I got black friends. I got black friends that agree with totally 100% about the stuff I'm talking about, and it's actually racist to assume that because you're black you have to think a certain way, and that if you don't, then you're kicked out of the group and you're called a coon or an Uncle Tom. And look, Joe Biden is proof of that. He was talking to Charlemagne, the God, and said, "Oh, if you don't know, who to vote for."